Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Beats and Bobbins. If you're joining for the first time, my name is Evan Roth. Professionally, I'm a visual artist, but this tutorial series is based on things I'm doing here for fun in the studio after hours, mostly related to sewing related projects and DJing tutorials. This is a special software edition of Beats and Bobbins where I just made a new piece of software called Screen Sampler, which I want to show you. It's free, it's open source. It's primarily a DJing software that's doing screen sampling to do real-time visuals, but I think it could have other functionalities also. I want to show you quickly just what it looks like, and then later in the episode I'll show you how to dive deeper into what else it can do and how to use all the settings. So let's get into it. So this software runs in the browser. You go to screen-sampler.evan-roth.com. I'll put the link below. You hit start. I'll give a longer walk through this later, but essentially it's going to ask you where do you want to be capturing from. I'm not going to do that at the moment because I've already got one running. When you launch the visualization, you're going to see something like this, depending on what you have sampled. I've got the waveform sampled from my DJ Pro software loaded up right now onto this 3D object. I've got a TLF Trio song on the left deck here. You can see in pink I've got a loop going. So if I hit play, I can start to see those waveforms running. And then on the back side of this object, I've got one of my own songs loaded up, just a drum loop. And this is all happening real time. So if I start playing with the jog wheels, and I can use the arrow keys on the keyboard to change that shape. The mouse can zoom in, rotate. I can also sample different sections of the hardware if I want to. So for example, this is over here I have the F1. You can see a live camera running with my hot cues and my slicer mode. Can sample maybe a section of the mixer so you can see this is real time. I can bring in the decks. So these are just some of the possibilities here. Stick around, I'll walk you through how to use this software and get it running on your system. So I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of how to use Screen Sampler on your own system. I'm going to be doing this in Firefox on a Mac, but I think it'll be similar on most browsers and operating systems. First, you're just going to pull up screen-sampler.evan-roth.com in a browser. You're going to hit Start. You're going to have to allow access to sample. In Firefox, it's going to ask you to show you what you want it to sample. I'm going to start by doing DJ Pro here. So I'm going to say share this window. Then I'm just going to minimize this alert here. Then it's going to bring you to this screen where it's going to say select your region. So our source is DJ Pro. Our region is what part of the screen we're going to sample. So the example you saw at the beginning of this video was I was doing the waveforms. So maybe with this region to start with, we'll just sample the waveforms and I'll hit confirm region. Now, if we just start visualization right away, you're going to see that being mapped to this 3D shape on this sort of gradient background. Now, if I go back to DJ Pro and I hit play on some of these, now you can see that that's updating. So we've got it playing Everything's going to happen in real time when you make changes. But let's say, for example, we wanted to have the waveforms of deck 1 and deck 2 on 2 different models. So let's do that. So first you would hit S to go open back up your settings menu. You'd hit edit regions to go back into the region manager mode. So let's take this region that we made, and let's just say we wanted to do only track 1, and I'm going to say add a region, and let's draw in a second one to get region 2. Now when we hit confirm regions, start visualization, now we've got 2 3D shapes going. And if we hit the arrow keys, we can cycle through what models it's going to be showing up on those 2 things. If we open up the settings menu, you'll see now here we have region 1 and region 2. So these are the different settings we can use. Right now these are both set to the default global, which is why I can change them with the arrow keys and they will both update. But if you wanted region 1 to be on a cube and you wanted region 2 to be on a cylinder, you can change those in the settings menu here, as well as other things that you might expect, like the position within 3D space. I'm going to add in a couple more items just to show you some more examples here. So let's go back to our edit regions. Let's say I want to add another region that's the entire software. Okay, good enough. I'm going to hit confirm regions, start visualization. Now I've got these 3 in here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit S to toggle the settings. I'm going to go down to my region 3 here. And if I click full screen background, it's going to take that region and map it entirely over the background so that now the 3D models happen in front of that setting. So that's a way where you can take over a region and have it set as the full screen. Okay, we can take that back off. So now I've got these 3 objects in here. The number keys are almost like your mutes. So if I hit 1, I can toggle on and off the 1. You can toggle them all off. 1, 2, 3, bring them back in. If you turn on play mode, it's going to go through those 3 models, however many you have on screen. I've got 3. I'm going to turn my interval down to just 5 or 6 seconds so we can see it here. So now it's going to, for 5 seconds, show region 1. After 5 seconds, it's going to bring in region 2. After another 5 seconds of that, it'll bring in region 3. So this is a way you can kind of set up a sequence to play. This is called the play mode. If you change the transition type, it'll zoom in and out instead of fading in and out. Okay, so that's play mode. Background is just a way where we can change what the background color is. All that should be pretty straightforward. Default animation is the animation where if you have a default, all of them can be set to the default. This visibility is what gets toggled on and off by those number keys. And here we have our 3 different regions with the different settings. And then we have some quality settings where if it's playing too slowly, you can start to change these to lower the resolution so it'll play a little bit faster. So I'm going to hit reset default. I want to delete some of these. I want to show you a different mode here. If you want to delete things, you can just go back into our region editor and we can throw away some of these. I want to leave it on, let's leave it on track 2 here. I'll say confirm region, start visualization. I want to go back into DJ Pro and we'll pause track 1 and we can play, we'll play track 2 here just to get some waveforms going. You can see that those waveforms are starting to happen here. I'm going to turn back down and turn off the transparency color. You can use the mouse to zoom in and out. Okay, so now we've got our waveform playing on this texture here. The thing I wanted to show was if you go into visualizer mode, you can also switch this into 2D mode. And when you go into 2D mode, now that texture is just going to be kind of bouncing around the screen as a 2-dimensional object. And there's some one advantage you can have here is you can pick a transparency color. So if I go to my region settings and I say transparency color, it's on black, which is what I want it to be on. You can also pick a different color. If you don't want it to be black, you can pick a different color, but black works well. Then there's a threshold for how much you want that transparency to affect it. So now I have my waveform with a transparent background. You could, in 2D mode, you can also enable trails so that it's going to start to leave a trail as it animates around. The arrow keys also cycle through different ways that this is animating around the screen. And I'll show one last example here. And this one I'm going to use the Opera browser just to show you it works a little bit differently. I've got in this second tab my web page up. I wanted to pull up one of my older pieces here from my No Original Research series. Let's go in here. I'm going to pull up Lotru on Hot Pink. Piece looks like this. I'm going to mute that. We go back to Screen Sampler. I'm going to hit Start. So in Opera, since we're already in Opera, you can choose what tab you want to sample from, which can be kind of nice if you want to load up a bunch of tabs. So I'm going to click that one, hit Share. That looks good. I go back to Screen Sampler. I'm going to adjust my region. Same way as before. Can hit Confirm Region. Let's say Start Visualization. I might tab through to a different maybe we'll use this one. And then the last thing I wanted to show here was how the mic input works. So if we're going to hit S to toggle on our settings, we can hit Enable Microphone. I'm going to turn the bounce rate up just a little bit. You can see it's already starting to work with my voice. If we play music, you can see how it works maybe more clearly. You can affect how much it responds to the music with this bounce parameter here. So that's an overview of the Screen Sampler software. This is the first Beats and Bobbins software release. It's free, it's open source. Please give it a try. If you've got any feature requests, leave those in the comments. I can't guarantee I'd get to them, but I'm really curious to see where this software could go. Similarly, if you find interesting use cases for it, please send those to me as well. I'd be really interested to see how people end up using this. I'll put the link below. Thanks so much for watching Beats and Bobbins. I'll be back again with another episode soon.